Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies. Hello.
Hello, Mariah.
How are you doing, YK?
I'm fine, thank you.
Nima, please give us this thing.
Hey, thank you, Bola of Bosch Designs. She's the Madam Bosch Designs.
Bosch Designs.
She's
Thank you.
Bosch Designs on Instagram.
Beautiful.
So I have been longing for this Smallware one because when she launched, it was this Smallware look. This one that gives them the Lagos look.
Surulere.
So she thought to give us a Christmas.
Thank you, Bosch Designs, for this.
And it came for
I will wear my own next week.
Next week, I can wear it. But I like the wine color.
I like my slippers.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah,
What
it's
exactly?
a
creative.
peacock.
It's
A
lovely.
peacock, right? Yours.
Yeah, I'll wear mine
the
next
rush
week.
for this thing at the siblings fair.
Yeah,
Well, my
that's
sisters were
Beautiful.
rushing.
Thank you so much.
She makes it easy
Margareta,
for
we
you to
know
wear.
it's fine. It's
Again,
fine.
so
It's
yes,
fine.
There she
She's
goes.
trying to make
I
don't
said,
mind.
Kuma will give her more.
Don't
Yes,
mind,
now.
don't mind Nima.
No, Bola is a
Well,
friend.
thank you so much, Bola, for this. How are you doing, YK?
I'm fine. Actually, what I wanted to talk about is this girl that won Miss Universe, this South African girl that won Miss Universe. A beautiful black girl with short African hair. Beautiful. Her beauty showed. Now, I'm telling you, if that woman had been wearing a wig, she wouldn't win that thing.
I agree.
May I hide under the table, please?
No, please don't hide under the table.
Why can't I still
And
do
so
this
I've just, and I knew that I had to talk about it because she even spoke, and she spoke so well. She's trying to let black people, black women be proud of who they are and what they are. And I've noticed, myself included, I'm not even removing myself from it, we have identity crisis. Black women, we have identity crisis. So I hope this young girl is going to inspire all the African women.
Moving on. Nima, how you doing?
What is wrong with you? You know, when they talk about old bones, crooked bones, I mean, how do they say
Don't
it?
mind
Old
well.
women become...
So this young lady actually inspired me. When I
Nervous.
heard her speech about what she expected of young women, what she would be, promoting for young African women. One of her speech implied, that confidence and identity acceptance and rights of women. She's a brilliant young girl and beautiful in her African look. So I felt inspired.
Fantastic. Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Anything happening?
Yeah, no, nothing much happening. I'm still, I had my training for Passion to Profit, which happened on the 6th and 7th. So a lot of people were calling because they couldn't get in that time. So I've extended it for all those who are interested in learning how to make money from using their hobbies, their interests, their passion. The training is still ongoing. They can just, send me a message and register you.
What are you grateful for today?
Today
For
is
your clients, because John
for
told
my
me-
mentors. Yes, I'm
Yeah,
grateful for
your
my mentors,
mentees.
for all the people that have shown me the light, one way or the other. People I'm
actually met a
learning
mentee
from,
of
my
yours.
peers. I'm just so grateful.
And I'm grateful for my brother's daughter that is 8 today.
You have something to be grateful for.
What's
That talkative one, Abi.
Bisayo.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Zion. How you doing?
I'm doing well. My daughter's after school yesterday had a party for them, and it was really nice. So she came home yesterday and told me, "Mommy, I would have loved for you to come, but I know you're always busy."
Oh.
Imagine when your 5-year-old tells you that.
Oh, she's 5-year-old.
My 5-year-old, the 2-year-old told me that she would have loved to invite me for their party, but I'm always busy. In fact, I just
That's
think
a warning.
That's a
I'm
warning.
telling you, it's touching my
I
heart.
don't understand. I'm thinking to myself, okay.
So what did you tell her? Did you explain?
I said, well, yeah, but you could have told me still, regardless, and then I would have made time to come.
Yeah.
So I didn't know about the
Reassure
party,
her.
but I didn't know that parents could come. So I would have invited you, but you're too busy.
It's a serious warning,
An
right?
indictment.
You need to go back to the drawing board.
I'm telling you, because that was why I left TV University. So I didn't have more time for them. Now it's not as if I'm getting more and more busy. Hey, anyway, let's go on a break now. We come back. It's Thursday. We'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right, we're going to start with The Nation. Strike. Electricity workers target transmission station. Kogi Bayelsa polls with send 66,200 policemen, says IG. Delta House passes governor's pension bill. 43 billion naira stamp duty cash in CBN, says federal government. Government begins probe of Shore DSS incident. And who leads post-Brexit Britain? Okay, let's start with the Delta House passing this pension bill.
So I'm from Delta States, and when I saw this morning, I just thought it concerned me, as in it touched me. They have passed the Pension Rights and Other Benefits Amendment Bill for former governors and deputy governors. We talked about this sort of thing, I think, during this week here. And because I come from, let me even quickly say what the paper said before I give my own opinion. So the Speaker said that their job is to make laws, and as long as it's still within the Constitution, they will keep on making such laws that would promote good governance and progress. And I'm wondering, what sort of progress are you promoting in a place like Delta State where they don't even have enough factories? The place is just almost like dead. The last time I went there, nothing is happening in Delta State. Roads are being abandoned. No projects are being, going on in the state. There's no money. People are crying. The taxi man that carried me was lamenting seriously that nothing is happening in Delta State. Most of their people who are intelligent and doing well are people like us are living outside the country or places like Lagos because nothing is happening in my state, and you are passing.
What makes this law even more painful is the fact that they are approving pensions for former acting governor. Sam Obi was a former acting governor. So he too, as an acting, you're not a full governor. You'll be receiving pensions. What are you?
And the excuse they gave, the excuse they gave is that, other states approved millions for their people, but they are giving 450,000.
Anyway, let's move on.
It's just painful.
What's that thing Charlie Boy says? Amumu never do. And now Amumu don't do.
Charlie Boy
is it Charlie Boy? Yes, now. Okay, strike. Electricity workers target transmission. You want to tell us what their issues are?
So after 21-day ultimatum that Minister for Power did not
listen now.
react to. Workers of the transmission company, whatever company, they shut down.
Gencos, Discos, all of them.
They shut down the facility in Osogbo, which is supposed to generate under the National Union of Electricity Employees. The NUE, they shut down the facility, and because of that, government was now forced to respond by inviting parties to deliberate on them, and the House summoned the Minister for Power also to look into it. And they have some issues. Their issues are not too much. They have issues of non-payment of their severance packages, non-payment of salary arrears, illegal transfer of union proprietors. And some
in a nutshell, we don't have
light, so it has started.
But darkness was prevalent in our eyes.
But the only thing was like, at least I could sleep in peace. No generator sound.
Please, my food in the freezer.
Why was there no generator sound?
No, for midnight, people turned it off now. Usually.
No, our places, in my area, somebody's generator
runs 24 hours.
Broke down off itself by 4 o'clock was coffee. Before I finished by itself.
Excuse me.
They didn't put
if
it
you didn't have light at 12, why? That means you never have light at 12.
No, we didn't have light. We turned off our
so
generator.
you are used to that
by
peaceful...
midnight. People in my own area
will now turn off their
generator. So it was peace and quiet, so I could sleep.
So that
sleep in darkness?
That means every day, there's no light at midnight.
Okay, actually, for whatever reason, it happened. For whatever reason, last night, everybody turned off their generator. Sometimes they leave it on.
Coincidence.
You're right, it was a coincidence.
It was Ironubami, Dizu. Because already NEPA, when they bring their bill is astronomical. Right. We are still buying diesel, and now this one, they will still bring
below, even with this.
Let me move on to the punch.
There's no justice in this country. There's no justice.
Yeah, why Aisha Buhari moved against Shehu others? Picture here of scene of multi-accident in Abuja. 338 million naira fraud. Court rearranged ex-Lagos Speaker Ikuforeji. He was right here a few days ago.
I thought it was him.
It was him now. They are named, EFCC. Poor guy. Yeah, our guest. Drama as NSA Inspector General disagree on Kogi Bayelsa post. Didn't you know I came? Court sacks on his second in command, orders replacement. Robbery scare, Undo banks short, customers lament. Buhari's title, no law states how a president should be addressed, says NBA. ASU threatens strike once against salary stoppage over IPPIS. Rights abuse, we are not answerable to US or UK, says presidency. Okay, let's start with no law states how presidents should be addressed.
Punch has said that they will be addressing the president now by Major General, and we are now having for and against. Some people are against it, some people are for it. So the Femi Falana and some other lawyers are, with a backing Punch up saying that because there's freedom of speech, they can actually call, you know, the president whatever they like. But Garba Shehu said something. I said that, number one, Punch does not have the power to change, you know, the name of the president. And that when the former president also, that Olusegun Obasanjo, when he did not, you know, he didn't, a court gave an order for them to give 30 billion to Lagos State, but he did not listen and he didn't approve. He didn't, you know, go ahead with that court order. Why didn't Punch at that time change his name to Major General? They also talked about Ibrahim Babangida, saying that he was not democratically elected, but then he gave himself the title of the president. Why didn't Punch at that time?
Stop breaking my heart.
And that he locked up a lot of media houses, including Punch, for several months. So why didn't they change his name at that time?
I thought he was an educated man. And as an educated man, I would expect that Mr. Garba Shehu would speak from a place of law. So there'd be a basis for what he's saying. When you talk about lawless precedents as being the precedents to back up another lawlessness, it seems to me you don't have any progressive thinking. Exactly. A progressive thinking will be that those people did not conform with the Constitution, and we are Democrats. We will conform with the Constitution. We will uphold the Constitution and the sanctity of the courts.
We have the
I don't expect.
I think Punch also replied.
I prefer Femi
continuous. Go ahead, let me let you finish.
I was also going to say what do you call them? The presidency. They are defending what they shouldn't. I cannot understand. You know, the point I was going to make.
You should be constructive in defending. So your rights, your duty as a spokesperson of the president should be done with, you know, a bit of responsibility. You can't continue to take us back and cite lawlessness. Because these were things that people talked about.
And they've forgotten it was all the shouting that people shouted in those days that gave us the democratic elected government that we have today. It was the shouting they shouted during IBB. Now, people didn't keep quiet.
The military regime was actually known for not obeying rule of law. And that's why Punch has now said the
judicial precedents that they actually
we need to move on.
There were appeals because
there was a story I wanted to take where Femi Adesina was saying that we don't need to listen to US, UK, and EU because we're a sovereign state, and that they don't need to tell us anything about our human rights abuses. Because according to, it was in an interview where he was being asked about people, the response of these countries, these entities saying that we have not obeyed human rights. We've been actually breaking all human rights laws, and we need to address this.
And when you look at the people that break the human rights laws or who have broken, they're all military leaders. Obasanjo, IBB.
Former military.
And now
they're all former military leaders. Jonathan, everybody, especially you people on this table, every small thing.
I was not on this table then.
And
Daily Sun.
You will be looking. Jonathan will be looking at all of you.
Let's leave Jonathan matter. Please move on. Because all of us, they're all the same. We same or the same. Daily Sun.
No,
Ripples as
not people.
YK, let's move on. If Jonathan had done what he was supposed to do, trust me, Buhari won't come. They wouldn't have preached change and would have believed change. So the truth is, it's all a ripple effect.
If
we actually had good governance during that period, we wouldn't have voted for change.
I am not saying Jonathan was a good leader.
So
I am saying that during Jonathan's time, we could talk about him and nobody was getting locked up. You could criticize him. That is my point.
Very correct. Moving on to
this government that is there today criticized him.
Why can take it easy now? They're not going to lock us up now. Let's take it easy. Small. Since Monday, we've been under fire. Please. Small. Daily Sun.
I want to do Christmas in my house.
Please.
It's true. I didn't say anything, no.
Daily Sun. Ripples as Aisha Buhari bombs Garba Shehu. IPOB reports army to UN and amnesty. Ex-bank officials, Indian jailed 5 years over 855 million naira fraud. Nationwide darkness looms. Showore government probing DSS invasion of court, says Malamim. Akpabio pulls out of Akwa Ibom Senate rerun.
That was shocking.
I wonder why he even pulled it. Well,
so, you know, after the court order questioned his constituency where he's from in Akwa Ibom, and, you know, ordering a rerun, I thought, you know, he would use presidential might, what do you call it now, to boldly go and contest an election. Obviously, he's a juicier post as the minister for the...
No, he said that the president, that his job, you know, that the president has trusted him to do a lot of work.
So he doesn't see any need.
Which one do you want to take the IPOB? Go ahead, please.
So they are saying they are going to, you know, report the Nigerian army to Amnesty International and and other international bodies because of this operation, Positive Identity. identification that they are about to carry out. They are saying that it's geared towards attacking the Igbos in particular. Because the truth is, they are going to be walking around and asking for national ID cards, which a lot of Nigerians did not even have access to. So it's more like a ploy to ensure that the Igbo people are, being closed in or shut down or whatever it is. So they're going to take it out and report to international bodies to come to their aid.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard very quickly. Declare emergency unemployment now. Let me find a story we've not taken. Reps ask FG to immediately fix Apapa, Tinkan Island ports. Court sacks Obalufe, orders Oni to install Elugbuji as new monarch. No harm addressing Buhari as Major General. Fraud, U.S. seizing Nigeria's private jet. Disquieting presidency as Aisha Buhari bombs Garba Shehu. We'll talk about Aisha Buhari as a hot topic later. So in U.S., they seized the Nigerian's private jet and they've searched it for drugs. They didn't tell us exactly who it was, who owns the jet. But it was Nigerian. It belongs to Nigerian, and they searched it for drugs. And he's somebody that's been actually watched by the U.S. government for a while.
Did it have?
Well, they didn't tell us exactly what they found in the aircraft, but it was seized pretty much. Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune, Showore, federal government sets up panel to probe DSS court invasion. Makinde signs anti-corruption bill into law. Aisha Buhari alleges how Maman Daura used Garba Shehu to scrap First Lady's office. No money, no health, food for 44% Nigerians in 12 months is NBS. Electricity workers begin industrial action. Any story there? I think they're all pretty much the same story. Let's find another story we've not taken. Moving on, Daily Trust. NSCDC arrests herbalists over money ritual. That's on a different story. What was that story?
Yes, I have the story.
Yeah.
So this happened in Ekiti State. There was a herbalist, Oba Matthew, performed the money ritual for 2 young men. But then the concoction he gave them to drink happened to turn them mad. So they were...
For real?
Yes, they were now outside misbehaving till... Why are you laughing? The NSCDC got them and took them to the hospital for treatment. So apparently they went there to do money ritual. He was supposed to do money for them. I don't know whether they had to get blood involved, whatever it is. But then it turned, it went sour, and the guys are mad now. So I just want to... I just want to beg people, please, can we work for money?
The concussion.
Money is not free.
Where is the herbalist?
Yes, now, Oba Matthew. He's in custody now. He's the one that confessed.
Where is now?
Oba Matthew. Is he an herbalist?
They went willingly. They went willingly with their
The federal government has announced that the FIRS is the authority to deduct stamp duties and not the NIPOST. So, but yes, that new policy was announced by the Minister for Finance, Budget and...
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll discuss our hot topic for today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, according to reports, our First Lady, Aisha Buhari, has accused the senior assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari, Garba Shehu, of making a mess of communication from the presidential villa, meddling in affairs with her family, starved her of funds to run her office, and messing up her marriage. What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation 070-806-68014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, there are several angles to this. There are the angles of a wife getting involved in her husband's business. Or a wife being concerned with the people working around her husband, or a wife complaining about access, to her husband. The fact that, because if you remember, a few months ago, the news broke that this same Mama Daura was living in the presidential villa, had a choice area, and the president had asked them to move because of his son coming back, But the point is, they've almost invaded your privacy as a wife, and so our conversation is around how far is too far when a wife gets involved in, in those people working with her husband. And I'd like us to use her own case as a case study here, especially now that she's asking them to remove him. You know, can she do that? I mean, is that something, should we listen to her plea? Or, the fact that they're saying that they wanted to scrap the office of the First Lady. So these are things that rumors she's hearing. What are your thoughts? Let me start with Nima.
So I read this thing throughout yesterday, and I was wondering when I will read to the part where the president has something to say as regards the rights of his wife in his life. Because we are Africans and we tend to take these things for granted. So what Aisha is bringing out here, every woman married under, you know, traditional marriage and, you know, has experienced family and extended family close-up would have tasted it in Africa. But our men have come to realize that when they put their women behind, even they will not enjoy the marriage in the end. They will not have peace. So I was looking for that part where the man would, at this point of their marriage, how many years, 30 years, which they celebrated recently, would have at one point or the other talked or spoken up for her. Now, this is not any other man. This is not a normal, regular Nigerian man. This is our president. You know, the chief, the grand commander-in-chief of our armed forces. So you'd expect that he will be commander-in-chief of his own home. And, you know, his wife, because she's either to the right or left. Right. To his right hand, will of course be his right-hand person. To establish, is it left? Okay, whichever one. The one that's closest to her mouth will be closest to the ear. And she'll be the one to be the person, the contact person. What we've seen here is a very dysfunctional, if you like to look at it, family setting. Where the nuclear family is not what operates. Now, traditionally, Mama and Daura being the husband's nephew is more closer to husband than wife.
Nebe. But yes. Nima, let us not go. I don't want us to also remind us of culture.
It's the culture that I wanted to establish. No, religion. If you say religion,
let's start with culture. Let's start with culture.
Before you go there, I want to ask a question. Do you think it's because of the age difference between them? Because there is a huge age difference between the president and his wife.
There's a huge age difference between the chairman of Eleganza, Okoya Thomas, and his wife. Okay. But you see her, she's right next to her husband. So they're different. So you're right. No, it depends on the man.
Let me try. Exactly. Yes, that was the answer I was going to give, YK. It's not about the age difference. Yeah. It's about the man and who that man insists on being. So if this man in question insists on resting on family and not, you know, attending to his wife or, you know, listening to his wife, that's how the marriage is going to run. She either doesn't like it, steps out, or conforms with it and continue to live like that. So it's two things. African, and we know a lot of marriages, maybe except modern days now, that, you know, Africans are trying to give women rights. Those days, you just conform. Everybody's Bobo Komi. Everybody's Bobo Komi.
Yeah, okay, but I would like us to also take our mind back to when Jonathan was president, former President Jonathan. His wife was there.
No, she's a
Pepe was outside. She was there. You see her. You cannot even not see, not see her.
Mariah,
we are not northern women.
Our side there, gas with the doing.
Even my people with religion said they never still find balance. Because it's not normal. It's not in the gene of a woman from Edo, Bendel, Delta.
So just be accepted. Relegated at the bam.
You see, if you find one who is even quiet, she's controlling the house from behind. She will be in control, or she will not be there.
To culture. Yeah. So it's culture. So maybe it is the culture that she has. So could it be that she has always stepped back?
Taking from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Aisha doesn't know someone that steps back. See how sharp she is.
Because I don't know them.
Yeah, right.
It's only what I see on the pages of the paper and what I hear that she has said or written.
Right.
And I think to myself, because I remember when you people went to interview her, her aides were there watching to make sure that she didn't say anything out of line.
Right.
You know?
Right, very correct.
And so I'm wondering, is it that she was always stepping back and allowing this to happen? Because we didn't really, when he was running he ran 3 times before he became president. We never really heard from her.
Yeah.
It was only this last time she was brought forward.
Right.
So what I see is a woman who is crying out for injustice. That's what I see. So it's possible that she has tried to reach her husband's ear. And unfortunately, like she mentioned rightly, there are some cultures that the man does not see the wife as, somebody I should take, advice from. They marry you as a property, and your role is just go to the kitchen, do your stuff, take care of the kids, but they don't really pay attention to what you say. And every woman wants to protect their home. And it's possible she's beginning to see that these people that are surrounding my husband are not helping us. They are not helping the nation, and it's not just our family right now. This is a public family. We have been called to serve. So if I don't speak up, a lot of things will go wrong. And the fact that they're even trying to stifle me and keep my mouth shut. They've talked about how they want to take her away from her position, so to speak, But now she's standing up to say that I can't just sit back and not say anything and act like all is okay. Nigerians need to be aware of what is going on.
But when he first became president, she said by herself, unless she had been told to say, she said, I don't want to be addressed as first lady.
She was responding to the president saying.
No, that's publication. She's corrected that. Yes. Was brought out, that article, that write-up was brought out by Garba Shehu, speaking on her behalf.
Okay.
Saying that there will not be an office of the First Lady, not willing to recognize that it's become tradition. First ladies have become
her husband had initially mentioned that it's not constitution. There's no constitutional provision for the office of the first lady.
Could have been advised. So he were from his spokesperson.
Yes.
And this spokesperson was Garba Shehu. And in this article, she's saying he took that directive from Mama Daura.
Yes.
Not from her husband. Yes. She's speaking up now that all those things we thought were heard. And you see this woman, she later had a project. She used this position laudably. She wanted to impact. So we interviewed her. She talked about how she would never take cash for the projects that she had. So she would engage brands.
She was concerned in the maternal mortality at the time.
Exactly. Yes. And, she had a labor kit.
Yes, a labor kit.
Delivery kit
that
she was distributing across the country then. And that those kits, when they were donated, were going straight. It was either you give them the kits or things, the materials that will make up the kit, or no cash, or the company sponsoring would have to buy. So she was concerned. She had laudable projects, but somebody just does not want to hear a woman talk.
Yes.
Okay, so now let me quickly establish that it is a northern culture that, women are supposed to keep quiet. This is not an Islamic culture, because if you come to Islam, when the Prophet ﷺ was the prophet, his first wife had her place very respected, and he guaranteed that. And even when he married, Aisha, his youngest wife at the time, was one that she reported more than half of the hadiths that we use today. She knew the prophet in and out. She was his right-hand man. Right. Do you understand? So that is not Islam. It's totally un-Islamic.
So the Islamic woman is empowered.
She's empowered. She's outspoken.
Let me take this call from Christian. I'll come to you. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is my first time of calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I want to contribute to the discussion today. The president's wife, anybody who is his age should accord the same respect given to the president, irrespective of her position or their culture or religion. The man or whoever is disregarding the president by not disregarding the wife. If by disregarding the wife, if the woman is too young to be his wife, he wouldn't have married her. It's supposed to be equal.
Yes.
So it should be seen in that light. So any form of interference in the family affairs, or even the woman should be able to advise the husband on how she governs the nation.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. So, she mentioned in the article this morning in the papers that she had an interview with NTA to clear some of the air on all the rumors that were going on. And then the Garba Shehu now, with his aides behind, nearly sacked the people who had the interview. Suspended them at the end of the day. They wanted to get rid of them for having that interview with her. So somehow they've been fighting her and trying to, help her close her mouth shut. And she is speaking up to say this is not the real situation. I believe we should applaud her strength. It takes a lot for her to come out.
I actually do.
Yeah.
I actually do, because I think you want...
I was going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about it. But I want you to finish up what you're saying.
Yeah, I actually applaud her strength because it's not easy being that kind of person. And I remember the first time she did this thing. And the president went out and he said it's the other room. That was when Tokwe and Uwa started that other room business, you know. Yeah. So, and that I felt that was a very demeaning answer that he gave.
Right. You know what?
You know, to womanhood.
Exactly. Thank you for taking us there because we're going to go on a break now. When we come back, I want us to take this away from Aisha and the president. I want us to take this to a family. Let's look at it from where a woman is screaming out for this attention and what the man should do in this kind of situation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
We strike that balance.
The criticism was that
criticism.
She was outspoken and the president wasn't outspoken.
A lot of people felt that before you see the president, if you don't go through patience, Jonathan, you can't see the president.
How you want to see him without seeing me now?
I don't understand. You want to see my husband without me? I don't
I'm the one at the door.
But that is you as a wife. We're talking about this is an official. If you want to see him on an official basis, I don't need to go through you.
If you have secretary, you pass her now.
So the thing
I'm
is...
the secretary now.
Wait.
There is God, bro.
No. If you are the... No. Let's remove the emotions.
If you go to
professional. No, let's
people have forgotten.
focus on the professionalism part of it. You cannot go and ask for Obama and you now be saying, Michelle will be at the door, you can't go through me. Of course not. You don't need to go through Michelle to get to Obama. The point is that there's a professional angle to this.
Even Obama
and we must be able to separate it.
Have you ever seen Obama without Michelle?
Since you brought up Michelle and Obama, there was a synergy.
Yes.
That's all.
We could feel it.
And marriage, not work.
Join.
Work. And it is that synergy that they carried to the White House.
Thank you.
And it showed in everything that they did.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Michelle and Obama, you could just see it and everybody just respected. And she would go on her own journey of First Lady and he would do his own as president. But when they come together, you see that. Now, Donald Trump, on the other hand, the wife,
she's in front or sometime back.
They will be holding hand, or he will try to hold her hand. She will do like this. All the press have carried it.
She vex.
Is that image?
It dented his image.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, it dented his image in America because they didn't see that synergy that they saw between Michelle and Barack.
The point I was trying to make is that there's got to be a balance. Nobody's saying that there shouldn't be synergy between man and wife. No doubt about that. But when it comes to work, you cannot see Michelle in the Oval Office saying, you know what, we're talking about this.
Mariam.
Members of the cabinet
the true test of a leader is how you rule your home.
First.
You cannot give what you do not have. If you cannot effectively rule your home as a husband.
Not even rule.
Whether not rule or lead or whatever, if you cannot do it efficiently, the synergy is lacking, you cannot rule a nation.
Okay.
That's the truth. So if we can clean up whatever it is that's happening, then we'll clean up our nation.
That your image that these handlers are handling, forgetting that the most important part of that image is that synergy that YK just explained now. They are not handling you well. Kukuma let them go. And find handlers who know that it's also very important that the wife is seen and that,
presented properly.
They see, traditionally as Africans, when we go to party, I don't know whether people do it, and they're allowed to go and serve yourself. We will carry plates. Can I take my husband's food?
Yes.
You will
of course not.
Because you're in public.
It doesn't matter.
Even buffet.
It doesn't matter.
Don't mind that.
It doesn't matter.
You go and carry your husband's plate.
Yes, I serve my husband. It doesn't matter. I pick what he will eat.
You will let them see that he's the man of the head.
Yes, so
I see it at that wedding.
They say the man is the head of the family and the woman is the neck.
Who gave you
who controls the neck? Who controls the neck? Excuse me, listen. The man is the head of the family and the woman is the neck.
Who told you he's the neck?
Who controls the head?
Where did you get that information from?
The neck controls the head.
Where did you get that information from?
Our tradition.
It's a story now. It's inside the book. I don't know. It's all I don't even remember hearing that from Morayo.
I have never I hear it a lot.
You say it on the show.
I have never agreed on that statement. I don't.
You don't agree, maybe
it's not me.
But at some point,
I hear it a lot.
The first time
people use it in churches a lot, but I have never acknowledged it. So you hear it in churches, not for me.
So you know your role. I'm a very important. If you're dead, I'm the neck.
I don't say it. I don't say that.
So, but what I was trying to say is that in our own small families, we prioritize the image of our families when we're in public.
Yes.
Such that if it is your husband who is getting you something, because I get that service a lot, I cannot sit here and say my husband, we're in public and maybe it's his own gathering with his friends. He gets my drink and my food and I just sit like madam. And when it's my own and I have opportunity, I get up and say, sit down, my husband, let me treat you like a
I
king.
organize.
It's so that people around see that there's love and whatever and respect in our home.
On that
You
note,
respect and I
we need to run
respect.
up on this,
What
but
we
we
say,
just wish
she will
the
respect
first family
Buhari
well,
will respect
and
them.
we
We're
just
not
hope
taking
the
tweets
president. No, let's take a few tweets.
Okay,
yeah,
Honorable
I have to run,
Ademola.
I have to run.
Sarkozy.
Honorable Ademola
Sarkozy,
said,
his wife divorced him while he was in the.
Let's take, I have a few seconds.
He did not
left.
win election.
Honorable Ademola says, the office of the First Lady is not new to Nigerians. Aisha Buhari is a reserved First Lady who does not get involved in national issues, but when she sees things going wrong as the wife of the president, must advise the president. She has the key to his heart.
Okay, one more.
Yeah, Maureen says, the truth is she's being relegated to the background and she has refused to be. I think the president has to step in to resolve this because she's probably going through a whole lot of other stuff we know nothing about. I commend her. She sure knows her place.
Oluyomi Elegbede says, this topic is a woman's rights topic. I am sorry I don't agree with all these things Nima Obiajulu Amoraya is saying. Mariah should stop saying that thing. Did people respect Jonathan because his wife controlled him? Aisha's issue is a family matter.
I have an issue with that word control. I really, like, I have to run, but I have an issue with that control. Why do we keep saying because his wife couldn't, because he couldn't control his wife? Are you supposed to be controlling your wife?
No. That's not.
Is that what the patriarchy code says?
Yeah, that's about
controlling your wife. Who's controlling who? We are all adults.
It's about reigning in your house.
So
either you reign and
it's a serious patriarchal issue that we need to address.
Yes,
but not for today, another day. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll discuss about a woman who fell in love. Oh, no, our security guard fell in love with her.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see how she can manage that relationship. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we move on to the other topic, let's take a few tweets from the Aisha Buhari story.
Okay. So, sorry.
I thought you had the tweets ready. Okay.
Yes, it was ready.
I have.
Go ahead.
Andrew Chatham says, Eva Perón, the first lady of Argentina, knocked her husband's presidency for not helping the Argentines poor. She eventually became the president of Argentina and was a great president. Oladipo Sunday Peters, what makes us believe the president and his wife Aisha are happy in their relationship? We can only see them outside, but something else is going on inside. That is what gives Garba Shehu the audacity to say Buhari will have to speak.
Right.
So Ashikpa James says, as a journalist, Garba Shehu should go and read the Chinwezu's book, Anatomy of Female Power, in order to realize that he is threading a dangerous path. Garba, the other room power, they powerful. Adekunle Adewusi says, good morning to you all. I'll point out two things. Her husband said there will be no office of the First Lady. First one, we've cleared that. She clamored for social media regulation bill, but vented out on the same social media. She should be careful she should be careful of hate speech. Mogi says this is what happens when politicians can't separate their marriage from politics.
Honorable Ademola Alalade says, Aisha Buhari is the wife of the president. A president will not perform well without the wife. She has a role to play as the most senior woman in the country by virtue of her position as the wife of the president. She needs to be respected as much as her husband. Kabiru Abdullahi says, she is indeed a victim of injustice by those surrounding the president, pretending to be his supporters.
I really wanted to move on from this topic, but I'm just thinking about it. Our president might not need the other room. He's almost 80. The man doesn't, the activity in the other room will make the man look out. So the man probably doesn't do the other room at all. So then, if you think that she will have access to the other room, there's activities happening in the other room, we might be wrong. She doesn't have access to the other room. In fact, the other room is not a big deal for her. So
been closed
only
down.
Mama Daura and Abba Kyari that are actually hanging out with the president.
The other room has been shut down.
For a young couple, the other room is important. But for say, Baba, almost 80.
He's a Muslim. Aisha has needs, emotional needs. Islamically, he must meet as her husband.
Yeah. Not necessary.
I said Islamically. I'm close to Islam.
Okay.
It's not a matter of choice. It's either you, if you
the man
cannot,
is not very 100%.
it's a ground for divorce that if you cannot meet it. So if she wake up tomorrow and say he cannot meet it and tell us, and then she want to divorce him on that ground,
choose to stay with him regardless. Okay.
No. Then he must not deny her the coziness and audience of that room.
She married an old man, so
you
she
see,
knows that
God in His wisdom put that room business for reconciliation, because two human beings cannot agree every day of the year.
For men, that the machine doesn't work anymore.
Yes, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's either you stay or you go.
I don't want to believe that.
But even if your machine doesn't work, maybe you can still cuddle.
Abi?
You mean they don't cuddle?
I don't think so.
When you see the president,
Ask him.
We're asking. No, but why can say serious issues? And religiously, I want to continue on that religion part.
That's a
she has those
problem
needs.
with most marriages.
He
I
should
think.
meet.
Sorry, Nima. When the husband and the wife share separate rooms, I think the same room is always important in a marriage.
Yeah.
Because it is inside that room that you sort out your
and
problems.
settle and all of that. And intimacy goes beyond just sex.
I was counseling
You
a
can be
marriage
intimate without that.
recently,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And I was saying to the wife, waiting they happen, none of those things happen. She was like, where is that possible? He locks his room. When I come in, I knock to talk to him, and I go back to my room.
That's real?
Yes, and I was saying to her that, you see, God in His wisdom, He put this thing there. Because I remember advising me on my own wedding night that, Nima, let your bed not even be this wide. Let it be this hostel bed.
So now body must
that
touch.
small one. So that when you fight and hit yourself, you will settle before daybreak. That's a reason. Because two people cannot agree daily. If not for that room safe, traditionally all our mothers would have gone back to their father's houses.
But
there's another thing. Okay,
my own experience. When I had the baby, when I had the twins, my husband had to move out because he couldn't stay in that room. They were always crying at night, and he had to go to work. So he moved to the guest room. As the kids grew up, and I was about to move them back into their room, he was so used to staying in the guest room that we had to intentionally. I was like, bros, come back to your room. But it took his mom coming to live with us, having to stay in the guest room
for him to come back to your room.
I just thank God. Thank you for grandma. Thank you for my brother for coming. because really, so sometimes it happens. It doesn't have to be planned.
So
it just happens naturally.
My ex-husband and I,
room.
we stayed in separate rooms. Our marriage did not last. This is I'm talking from experience.
Why can you
and
correct?
I believe that if we had been staying in the same room, we would have sorted out our differences. These differences could not be sorted out because I stayed in the room with the baby and he stayed in the other room.
Right. So there was a time when
not the other room.
No, the master room.
Okay, but wait,
so
there's something quickly, please. There was something I remembered. Our president is always traveling, and he doesn't travel with his wife. So at what our president is always traveling, and he doesn't travel with his wife. So at what time does he have for that intimacy?
Exactly.
It's a long story.
Thank you for that's a very serious matter
because really he should travel with his wife.
Yes.
And this is I've stupidly moved my husband, or I moved out. I just separated the room and moved in with my daughter at the time when I thought my daughter was my whole priority. He talked about it, but I didn't listen. When the thing started affecting marriage, and he wanted his privacy, I just came home one morning and said I was doing the house, moved daughter out, move myself in, my husband till today doesn't know where his room is. He's confused, but I just make sure that he does not sleep where I'm not sleeping again. It's just important that, so that we don't carry issues 2-3 weeks. All issues die in the night before daybreak.
So, but men should be able to know that, listen, your wife is extremely important. When you have relatives in your house, that my husband, the moment I enter our room, he just locks the door. I don't see anybody else. Once I step in, before I come in, you can still come in. The moment I enter, he locks up. Nobody enters again. It's just us. Sometimes the mommy will be banging. Prepare me. Mommy, if you want to, no. We say that just before, because right now we are having our conversation.
Our time.
So that every home should have that, and where man and wife stay with you, but unfortunately, Mama and Daura will not give them opportunity.
Exactly.
His family.
They follow them to Asoro. Is he in the other room? He should go to his own other room. He doesn't have wife. Excuse me. Have you ever investigated whether he has wife or not?
We don't know.
We need to check. Because if he had wife, he will have his own issues to deal with.
Exactly. And then his own wife will be telling him every day, waiting, you're always there, come and have time for me.
Come to your own room now. Come to your other room.
Okay, let me just remind our viewers that today is Thursday. I need to Google it. There's no serious gist here. So don't they're all been emotional. That's how we are on Thursday. So if we are watching for the first time, that's how we're just gisting as women. So I'll try to bear with us today. Let me take this call and I'll come to you.
All right.
Good morning, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, on the issue of Buhari and his wife, I would like to contribute my contribution majorly would be on the fact that it is Buhari's career. In 2015, my first candidate for the presidency was Obi Ezekwesili, and I really wished that she indeed went through it, being the president. Let's assume that the roles were reversed and she was the president, and then our husband were to be the one being so vocal about his disapproval with the people he has around him. It does not go to show his confidence in his wife to be able to carry out a responsibility as the president of the country. Of course, being the spouse of a powerful person, your role is always going to be important, but you need to understand. I get the part where Nima was talking earlier, where she said that the role of the wife is important and that she should have been listened to more. But she needs to be able, and she has to take care of our family and the children, because when they leave the office, the children would have to suffer, and those are our children, and she's looking out for them.
Yes.
But there are ways whereby you can look out for your own children and let your husband do his thing. If the roles were reversed, I don't think the majority of us will be talking about the rights of the wife.
Right. All right, point taken.
But then none of us will disregard the rights of the wife.
You know,
the Queen of England is the Queen, but nobody has ever downplayed the role of the Duke of, what's his husband's name again? He was even given a title, and it's office, you see him all the time. It's part of our image. In leadership,
I remember used to call shows.
It's part of the image.
Maryam Babaginda, goodness me, when she enters the room, you know she enters. This was a woman that...
Did you see her dress?
She had that regard.
Oh, you're buying.
Huh?
Oh, you're buying.
What does that mean?
For my place.
Okay. Point is that. So, Maryam Buhari had that. Even Stella, late Stella.
Yes. I remember.
Former President Buhari's Babaginda's wife. She also had that presence.
Air.
Yeah, she wasn't the controlling type, but we could see her. She was the first lady. We didn't see much of Yar'Adua's wife, as I said, but we're hearing that everybody was afraid of her. What's her name? What's her first name? Turai. So the fear of Turai was the beginning of wisdom.
What I see
that's a governor that had an accident. That's the wife.
The wife just remarried.
That's I don't know, the one that had the plane accident and he became a Kenny. She didn't let him...
She ruled the country to next administration. What are you saying?
Be now.
A strong woman is a strong woman, and that woman was a northerner. So
I also
for northerners to allow this culture grow,
but it doesn't say whether he's married, though. I honestly believe me.
I'll let you come in. Let me go on a quick break, then we'll come back. Wrap up. Stay with us forever.
Wikipedia.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. You want to say something?
So yes, so I believe that what's playing out now, there's more than meets the eye from what we're saying. And I believe that in every marriage, if the foundation is not set right, you're going to come into a lot of problems. We have talked about how we had conversations with our husbands on our room must be together, we must do it like this, we must do it like that. Those are the conversations I expect young people to be having when they're about to get married. Not checking at the pocket and checking at who is taking me out and who is spending money on me. You need to have conversations that will show the vision you have for the home in the next 10 to 20 years. That will show, okay, if in-laws come and if extended family members come, how are we going to handle it? Those are conversations I expect young people to have.
I agree with
before
you.
they get into that marriage.
But if you're marrying somebody who is 30 years older than you, sometimes you go with that approach of, okay, I'm just here, I'm in my small own quarters. Whenever daddy comes around, we do the thing. Or whenever he calls for me, I go there. No, I'm just saying when you're marrying somebody pretty old, but in the Southwest here, it's not because we know other people that have married younger women.
Yes.
And the women are present.
Yes.
I saw it, the wife of the Okoya, the owner of Eleganza. The woman is there.
It's not about age.
The other wives are being sorted, but this is the latest wife who...
It's not about the... And Mariah, another thing
it's not
about... Yes, it's not about age. And another thing, some women know how to use their power. Every woman has that immense power that most of them don't know how to use. So a few women know how to take advantage of. They know their power.
They know their power.
Okay,
she did not start it from the beginning. It's the foundation.
Don't say that. You see, Obiajo, I want to take you up here.
Okay.
You say some women know how to use their power. That means that she doesn't have that power.
No.
Or she doesn't have that talent.
She doesn't have that power.
No.
Because,
that's not what I'm saying.
Listen, let me read this tweet to you. Let me read this tweet to you first. Then I want you to answer. Firstly, private issues should be kept private. We have too many national problems in our hands and are calling for serious and quick actions. Aisha should please keep it private. Secondly, I think the nation is a replica of the president's home. Charity, they say, begins at home. Now, why I'm reading this tweet out to you is, isn't this a private issue?
It is a private issue, but it's affecting...
We are now hearing about...
YK, I want
it's affecting the public
let me
because
quickly
they are our
reply. Let me
leaders.
try and reply
Reply
YK along with this tweet, who's asking that how do I know that the Queen of England's husband is not being undermined? How will I know? Just because somebody is doing a proper image handling. A proper image handling of the Queen. So if I saw a proper image handling where every time the president is going, Mrs. Buhari, even if she's not being helped, she's walking beside him, which is what we saw Babaginda's wife do regularly.
Yes.
She's with him when he's appearing. She knows her role as his wife. Somebody handles that image thing well. Madam, your own is just to carry bag.
Yes,
Stay
sir,
away.
and just
stay
pose
away
your face.
and follow. And do this thing properly. Nobody will have a problem.
Even if they're having issues.
Now, we do not see them work together very rarely. Now, the fact that she's even speaking out and had examples of how somebody is trying to
undermine her,
mishandle, and also mishandle her family now, the name of her family and children, and even, publications like that, is serious issue.
Yeah,
it
affects the nation.
Yes, it affects us.
So it will have a ripple effect.
Yes, people abroad that we want to come and invest. These are our foreign investors.
They will now see that a wife and husband are always quarreling and their leaders.
These people said this one.
This is what
do you understand?
Let me take this call. I'll come back to you, YK. I think I have a call. Yakub, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. Morning.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I think this is a family matter. And then for me, if you mean a family matter, but you cannot blame anybody. As a woman, if you don't know the key, the true key to open your husband and then when to close the man, it is your fault. Every man, I can tell you, every man has individual key.
Yes, so
the woman, a true woman.
I believe you.
A true woman that knows her husband in and out, to be able to identify which key.
Kokoro.
They
don't know lost the key. They don't know lost the key. Some men don't have key. You have to break the door. That's all.
If you don't know the key to your man, and then you don't know how to manage your home very well, nobody, no handler that will handle a president, that's a woman.
Thank you very much, Yakub. Thank you so much, Yakub. So our question, therefore, to the president's wife, do you have the key to President
Buhari? Not all men have key to their door. Some people you jump window.
Is it wise that have the key?
You break door. Hold on, people are talking.
No,
you are assuming that this is no. Hold on. Let me let you understand that some marriages are arranged. Look at the difference. Some marriage, madam,
but you can get the key.
Oh, girl, go and marry man. You'll be calling daddy wa. On top of this matter, we are talking about the key. Is it when you are doing daddy wa that you want to open key? Daddy was saying no.
I disagree. Let's come to you. Let me come to you. I want to address this key issue.
You said don't love key.
Even if they made you marry somebody, there's a point where you get intimate with this person such that you now behold the key to his heart. You'll be surprised. That's where wisdom comes in. That's where they call a woman, a wise woman, can find the key to her husband.
Can find the key.
Some people are legends stage adventure looking for key. They have not found key. And when they go those reality things,
she has lost the key.
There's no key.
Or as Nema says, there is no key. Then there is no. If she doesn't have the key, she should just forget about the marriage.
No, she has key. She has to have key.
You have the key.
Some people spend their entire life on talent, on searching for key.
Can I just say something? We have done a whole show. Wait, we have done a whole show today discussing our president and his wife.
Yes.
Their marriage.
Yes.
Is that normal?
No.
It's not normal.
It's not.
The president should not give us the kind of topic to
Yes.
talk about. Put your house in order.
Order.
All right, on that note, we have
And
to wrap
lead
this
us
up.
well.
Thank you. I just pray Aisha Buhari finds the key
Exactly.
to President Muhammadu Buhari's house.
But you can
Stay
jump
with
the
us.
fence like you're
See you
doing.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.